What happens when a prince expects royal treatment but is treated like everyone else? The Dorian TV Awards became the stage for one of the most explosive celebrity meltdowns ever caught live. The Dorian TV Awards, known for honoring excellence in television, invited Prince Harry to present the award for Best Documentary Series after his recent work in TV production. Organizers thought his presence would add prestige, but they didn't anticipate the chaos that followed when protocol didn't match his expectations. Host Victoria Sterling, a well-known presenter, introduced him. "Please welcome Harry, Duke of Sussex." Applause filled the room, but Harry's expression changed immediately. He stepped up to the microphone and said, "Thank you, Victoria. Though I think there's some confusion about my proper introduction." Victoria, calm and professional, asked, "How would you prefer to be introduced?" Harry replied, "I am Prince Harry, Your Royal Highness. That is the proper protocol and how I should be addressed." The room grew tense. Victoria explained that their show introduced all guests by professional titles or current roles, treating everyone equally. Equally? Harry's voice rose. "I'm not just anyone. I am a member of the British royal family." "That title doesn't disappear," the audience murmured, sensing the conflict. Victoria stood firm, noting that former presidents and Nobel winners had also been introduced by their roles. "Tonight, you are here as a documentary producer," Harry snapped. "This is unacceptable. Do you know who you're speaking to?" "I won't be diminished by arbitrary rules." Victoria replied, "This is the Dorian Awards, not a royal engagement. We're here to celebrate television." Harry fired back, pointing at her. "Don't lecture me on respect while disrespecting me. You invited me under false pretenses." The cameras caught every detail, the shifting audience, the shocked celebrities, and Harry's growing anger. Victoria tried to calm the situation. "Harry, lower your voice. We're live on television. This behavior is inappropriate." "Inappropriate?" Harry laughed bitterly. "What's inappropriate is your ignorance of courtesy and protocol. I came here as a favor, and this is how I'm treated." He continued, saying the production was beneath him and questioning why he should stay. Victoria urged him to continue with the award presentation, but Harry dismissed her. "Viewers tuned in to see me, Victoria. They want to see Prince Harry, not some diminished version you've decided to present. If you can't deliver that, then you're failing them as much as you're failing me." The tension reached its peak. Victoria straightened her shoulders, her patience fading. "Harry, let me be clear. This is my show. This is our format. If you can't behave professionally, perhaps you should reconsider your participation." Harry's face flushed red, his voice dropping dangerously quiet. "Did you just threaten me on live television?" Victoria's composure cracked slightly, but her voice stayed firm. "I didn't threaten you. I stated a fact. This is a professional environment. If you can't act accordingly, your participation is questionable." Silence filled the auditorium. Even the camera crew held still. Harry's expression shifted from shock to rage, to disbelief that someone had stood up to him. "You have no idea what you've just done," he said, trembling with fury. "Do you realize the gravity of publicly confronting a member of the royal family? This isn't a celebrity spat. This is an international incident waiting to happen." Victoria laughed sharply. "An international incident? Harry, you're a guest on a television award show, not a diplomat at a peace treaty. Your sense of self-importance is astounding." The words hit Harry hard. His mouth opened and closed before he managed to speak. Self-importance. "I am important, Victoria. I represent something bigger than this show, bigger than your career, bigger than anything you've achieved." "Really?" Victoria's voice turned ice cold. "From where I stand, you represent someone who left royal duties but still expects royal treatment." You can't have it both ways. The audience gasped. She had said aloud what many were already thinking. How dare you? Harry shouted, losing all restraint. How dare you reduce everything I've sacrificed, everything I've given up, to some soundbite for your little show? Victoria didn't waver. Harry, the only one making this about sacrifice is you. We invited you to present an award, not to hold a therapy session about your choices. Therapy session. Harry's voice rose, making the audience shift uncomfortably. This is me trying to keep some dignity while you humiliate me in front of millions. No one is humiliating you but yourself. Victoria shot back. Your behavior is doing more damage to your reputation than anything I could say. Harry stepped closer, pointing at her. My reputation was built through decades of service, charitable work, and representing the crown. And you think one television appearance will change that? I think this appearance shows who you really are when you don't get your way. Victoria replied firmly. And it's not a good look. The camera zoomed in on Harry's face as something inside him snapped. His voice dropped again, this time with menace. Victoria, you've made the biggest mistake of your career. Do you understand my influence? My connections? I can make or break careers in this industry. Victoria raised her eyebrows. Are you threatening my career on live television because I won't call you by a royal title? I'm not threatening, Harry said, though his tone suggested otherwise. I'm pointing out that actions have consequences. And yours tonight will have serious ones. Producers signaled frantically from the wings to cut to commercial. But Victoria stood her ground. Harry, let me be clear. If you think you can intimidate me or threaten my livelihood because I won't bow to your demands, you've misjudged the situation. Misjudged. Harry's laugh was harsh. The only one misjudging is you. You think this is some ratings stunt, but you're playing with forces you don't understand. Forces. Victoria's voice was incredulous. Harry, you're not a superhero. You're a man throwing a tantrum because someone didn't use your title. The only force here is your ego. Her words shattered what little composure Harry had left. My ego? My ego. You sanctimonious, self-righteous broadcaster. You have no idea what it's like to carry the weight of expectation, of tradition, of representing something bigger than yourself. And you don't know what it's like to work your way up in an industry based on merit rather than birthright. Victoria fired back. But here's the difference between us. Harry, I don't expect special treatment because of my background. Harry's face went an alarming shade of red. Special treatment. Asking to be addressed by my proper title is special treatment. This is basic respect, something you clearly know nothing about. Respect is earned. Harry, not demanded, Victoria said firmly. Right now. Your behavior is earning you the opposite of respect from everyone watching. Harry looked straight into the camera. Wild and unfocused. Everyone watching knows exactly who I am. They know what I've done, what I've accomplished, what I represent. And they know this pathetic excuse for a television host is trying to diminish that. Victoria met his gaze. What everyone watching knows is that they're seeing someone who claims to represent dignity and service, throwing a public tantrum because he didn't get his way. Harry spun back to her, shouting again, "This isn't a tantrum. This is me standing up for myself against someone who clearly has an agendas, someone who invited me here under false pretenses just to embarrass me." Victoria cut through his shouting. The only false pretense is your belief that the world owes you something because of a title you were born. With the silence that followed was deafening. Harry stared at her in shock, as if no one had ever spoken to him like that. When he finally spoke, his voice was barely a whisper, but the microphones picked up every word. You've just ended your career, Victoria. You realize that, don't you? Victoria held his stare. Harry, If speaking the truth about your behavior ends my career, so be it. I won't be bullied into submission by anyone, regardless of background or connections." Her words hit him like a slap. He looked stunned and briefly speechless. The cameras recorded his reaction. "You think this is bullying?" Harry's voice cracked. "I came in good faith, expecting basic professional courtesy. And instead, I've been publicly humiliated. And now you act like you're the victim." "Harry, the only person humiliating you is you," Victoria replied. "Every word from you has demanded special treatment, made threats, and thrown accusations. That's not someone who deserves respect, title or not." Harry's hands trembled. "Special treatment. I've spent my life in service, military service, charitable work, public service. I've earned the right to be treated with dignity." Victoria shot back. "The difference is, I don't expect the world to bend because of what I've done. I do my job, I treat people with respect, and I expect the same in return." "Respect?" Harry's voice rose, losing control. "You've torn me down, questioned my character, dismissed my achievements, and now you lecture me about earning respect." Victoria had reached her limit. "Harry, I've only responded to your inappropriate behavior. You came as a guest and acted like a spoiled child who didn't get his." "Way spoiled child," the insult cut him deeply. His face twisted with rage and hurt. "Do you have any idea what I've been through? What I've sacrificed? What I've endured?" Victoria's tone softened, but stayed firm. "Everyone has been through things, Harry, but that doesn't give you the right to treat people badly when they don't cater to your demands. Cater to my demands." Harry was nearly hyperventilating. "Asking to be called by my proper title is catering. This is who I am, Victoria. This is my identity, my heritage, everything I was raised to be. And this behavior is also who you are," Victoria said quietly. "This entitled, demanding, threatening person standing in front of me right now. Is this really the legacy you want to leave?" The question hit Harry harder than anything else she had said. His face went pale, and his voice dropped to a whisper. "Legacy. You think this defines my legacy? Harry, your legacy is being written right now in real time in front of millions of viewers." Victoria replied gently. "And at this moment, it's not the legacy of someone who represents dignity and service." Harry looked around the auditorium, suddenly overwhelmed by the cameras, the audience, the lights. When his eyes returned to Victoria, his expression had completely changed. "This is impossible," he said, his voice breaking. "This whole situation is impossible." "I can't do this anymore, Harry," Victoria said, her tone softening. "Why don't we just take a breath?" And no, Harry cut her off frantically. "No, I can't take a breath. I can't pretend this is okay. I can't stand here and be treated like this." He backed away from the podium, his movements erratic and panicked. "This is wrong. This whole thing is wrong. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have to deal with this." Victoria reached out slightly. "Harry, please, let's just don't," Harry snapped, pointing at her. "Don't try to fix this now. You've made your choice, Victoria. You've shown everyone exactly what you think of me. And I won't stand here and take it anymore." The audience watched in silence as Harry fumbled with his microphone pack, his hands shaking so badly he could hardly manage it. "I'm done. I'm done with this show. I'm done with this treatment. I'm done with all of it." "Harry, wait." Victoria called out, but he was already heading for the side of the stage. "No," he shouted over his shoulder. "I waited long enough. I waited for basic respect, basic courtesy, basic human decency. And instead, I got this public execution." He stumbled on the stage steps, caught himself on the railing, and turned back toward the cameras. You want to know what this is really about, Victoria? His voice carried across the silent auditorium. It's about people like you thinking you can tear down people like me because it makes good television. Well, congratulations. You got your moment. Victoria stepped forward. Harry, that's not what this was about at all, wasn't it? Harry laughed bitterly. Then explain why a simple request for proper protocol turned into this character assassination. Explain why you felt the need to question everything about who I am and what I represent because your reaction was completely disproportionate, Victoria said. A simple correction about titles became threats, accusations, and demands for special treatment. Harry stared at her, his chest heaving. Special treatment. There's that phrase again. Maybe you're right, Victoria. Maybe I am asking for special treatment. Maybe expecting basic courtesy and respect is too much in your world. It's not about courtesy and respect, Victoria replied. It's about how you handle not getting exactly what you want, exactly when you want it. That was the final straw. Harry's face twisted, not with sadness, but with rage. Fine. You want to see how I handle not getting what I want. Here's how. He ripped the microphone equipment from his jacket and threw it to the stage floor. The impact caused a sharp screech of feedback that made the audience flinch. I don't need this, Harry shouted, his voice carrying without amplification. I don't need your show, your platform, your audience, or your fake respect. I have spent my life earning real respect from people who matter. He turned toward the exit, but paused, looking back once more. And Victoria, when the dust settles from this disaster you created, remember you chose this. You chose to humiliate a guest for ratings. You chose to destroy someone's dignity for entertainment. That's your legacy now. Victoria stood frozen as Harry stormed away. But she couldn't let his words stand unchallenged. Harry, the only person who destroyed anything here was you. With your own behavior. Harry paused at the exit door, his hand on the handle. For a moment, it looked as if he might turn back. Instead, he said, history will be the judge of that, Victoria. And history remembers everything. He pushed through the door and disappeared, leaving behind a stunned audience, a shaken host, and what would become one of the most talked about moments in live television history. Victoria stood alone on the stage, the weight of it all pressing down on the auditorium. The cameras kept rolling, capturing every second of the aftermath. She knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Well, there you have it. The narrator's voice cut in. One of the most explosive celebrity meltdowns ever caught live. What did you think of Harry's behavior? Was Victoria right to stand her ground, or should she have given him what he wanted to avoid all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable celebrity stories that actually happened. And tell us, what other celebrity do you think would have handled this situation even worse than Harry?